G'day guys, welcome to Chilltime with Joe. It's a bit of a different aspect of it this time. This time will be recorded rather than streamed. That's mainly because, I've been studying recently as well, and I just recently finished studying, and I'll be your host today. So it won't be, usually I just go for an entire CSGO scene, but this time we'll just go for a quick snapshot, given the fact I've not done it, I think in 2 weeks actually, or was it a week, I'm not entirely too sure. But yeah, there's been a lot of going-ons. Also, we need to discuss, obviously, the dramas that have come out of the CSGO scene, like quite recently with Banks and also Gaules as well. I won't talk about anything to do with Henry G and Kelly Jean, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I'm going to say now, like, that would just basically muddy the waters in that scenario. And we don't know, it's a he said, she said. And I think we should just let it for probably the authorities to decide, because not my place, not your place, and not anyone's place to decide whether, whose side's true or not. It's, kind of a trust and verify, and we don't know what's happened. In other words, like, I can't really talk about it. Now, some people get angry at me because I want to be a fence sitter and just wait for it to play out. But you'll see, you gotta respect my position on that, because you're not sure if it's true or not, in my opinion. Not sure if it's true or not. Henry, it seems like, Henry's admitted that he was a bad boyfriend. And there's been a whole lot of tough conversations, like there's been talked to by a lot of people and stuff like that. I think we gotta just let it rest, in my opinion. And of course, I've got to drop it right now. So, anyways, let's get up with the start. So, we're going to talk about some CS:GO. So, first off, we're going to talk about the MDLs, because the MDLs have all finished now. And there we go. So, basically, with the Mountain Dew League playoffs, basically, Amiga was in the first seed, as I said, and in the end, Sprout won the playoffs. And overall, as you guys can see here, unfortunately, you can't see because of my camera, but you can see here, like all the brackets essentially. And I'm very, very impressed with alternate attacks at endpoint, and also Fate as well. The teams coming up from Advanced being a big representative in the Mountain Dew League playoffs. Even though Sprout run it all in the end, 3-0 over Namiga, but I gotta give big shouts to Namiga as well, coming in as the number 1 seed. And Sprout, I was gonna say Sprout were always gonna win it, given the fact that Dihar hit his purple patch. I gotta say, in the first round where Dihar was just absolutely mowing everyone down, and he just kept getting better and better. He took down Fate, and they took down Namiga in a BO3. It was basically Lollipop versus Dihar, and then in the end, the BO5, they won that as well. Now we're going to go to the NA scene. If you guys are wondering why there's no AU scene, the Australian scene have rescheduled all their games because of the DreamHack Summer Open playoffs. They've rescheduled them to after the player break. So currently it's in a player break. So these chill time with Jose's are going to be quite short and succinct to the point, as I, basically rant on for a long time. But anyways, let's keep going. So next up, we got basically the NA part. It was actually expected for the New England Whalers to win this. It was actually expected for Mythic to be eliminated quite early, since they had to have Davey stand in for partway through the tournament as well. And they, when you lose your core, like use your core, a few of your core players, it might be a bit harder. But Mythic made it up to second place. Like, that was actually really, really impressed. Recon 5, a big shout out as well. Recon 5 with the third place as well. And the New England Whalers just disappointed quite a bit, actually eliminated by Levitate Esports. And they were eliminated quite early, and they also lost in the upper bracket to Mythic, which was a massive upset. And people were believing that Mythic, the addition of Davey, could have taken the whole thing, but I think Chaos put that to rest. And as you can see here, Steel and his men, I think Chaos were undefeated in the playoffs. They were undefeated in the playoffs, and they took the win that there and then. Now, next up, we're going to talk about the DreamHack qualifiers. So as you guys may know, I did Class the Open and Closed qualifiers. So we did follow Ground Zero. And the only big upset in the Open qualifiers was Paradox not making it to the Closed qualifiers, as they were taken out by Vertex. And the irony of Vertex afterwards is, like, after the Closed qualifier, I think it's after the Open qualifier, they split apart as a team. So Paradox won't be too happy about that at all. Now, next up is Mako, and Mako kind of expected to make it again. Mako have been in such a purple patch of form recently. They've been very good on the map pick of Inferno. They've also been good at 2 other maps as well. They're often played in the AU region. And I think Mako's going to be one of these teams that will probably make playoffs next season, and probably a team to watch out for. And a lot of other cards are beginning to notice that Mako is a very, very good team. Because, I said this, I think about, 6 or 7, I think I said this last season about Dew League, is that if Mako's aim was on point, they would easily make the playoffs. Like, if the aim was on point, they would easily get top 10, maybe make the playoffs, okay? That's what I said. If the aim was on point, they'll be winning games. And now, the aim, they practice the aim a lot. The utility has been top-notch. They always get a lot of utility done on their CT side, and Mako get into the DreamHack Closed qualifiers. Team Skyfighter had a really easy run, like incredibly easy run, since Bance was eliminated by Elemental Express. and Team Skyfire easily put them away as well. And then Ground Zero probably had an easier run. Off-mic players getting smashed, Aftermind getting smashed too. And yeah, we go to the close qualifiers. So close qualifiers, well, I'll tell you now, they weren't a bit close. They weren't that much closer. The teams, well, except other than the truckers, of course, the teams that came up from the open qualifiers were pretty much dismantled in the first scheme of things. Vertex actually won an impressive round on Vertigo, but Chase was always too strong for them. Order quickly 2-0 Skyfire, very, very easily, quickly 2-0. And Truckers and Ground Zero had a bit of a tussle, and an expected tussle as well, but they won 2-1. And Rooster took down Mako 2-0, probably expected Mako. I know Mako, as I said, I talked about as being a good team, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to take down Rooster. They can't break into that top 6 of the MDL, plus Renegades, of course, who don't participate in the Mountain Dew League or ESL Pro League. That they won't be able to breach, the top 6 being Order, Avant, Rooster. Or not top, yeah, they're at the top 6 actually. Truckers aren't part of the top 6 anymore. Which is going to be Rooster, Chiefs, Avant, Ground Zero. And now I forgot the rest of the teams. Order, Chiefs, Avant, Ground Zero, Rooster, and Renegades being the top 6. Those teams are the top 6 in before Australian Maths lol. And I don't think Mako's broken into there yet. So kind of expected as you look at the playoffs, you see Order, Ground Zero, Rooster, and Chiefs. Kind of expected these 4 teams have been competing over 2 spots since the dawn of mankind, okay? Even the summer series, it was literally Chiefs and Ground Zero. And then I think it was Order and Avant competing over spots. And Avant and Renegades, of course, getting a direct invite to DreamHack Open Summer. And previously it was Order who got the direct invite instead. But as you can see here, you can see here, guys, basically there's 6 teams in the AU region fighting over 4 spots in the Ocean DreamHack finals. And there's bound to be teams that will miss out, okay? Bound to be teams that miss out. And you see here Ground Zero and Chiefs being the unlucky teams to miss out. And I got to say now, a lot of people going at, Chiefs being like, oh, Chiefs are pathetic, they lost to Rooster. I'm like, not really. Rooster played exceptionally well in those games. Chiefs did lose a key round. Soju did try to pick up the AWP and he didn't defuse the bomb, and of course he went kablam. But I'm going to say that, the Chiefs are a pretty decent team. They can match Rooster, and Ground Zero can match Order as well. It's just what I'm going to say here is just, these teams are very, very competitive. These top 6 teams are very competitive against each other. And there's a few other teams trying to break in there, being Paradox, being Mako, and being Bants, and the Truckers as well, trying to break into that top 6. And they're threatening on the outside. And I've got to say, this next season of Mountain Dew League in Australia is going to be very, very interesting, where there's going to be 10 teams trying to vie for 8 spots. And it's going to be really the 1% matchups. That's going to really dictate this, how this will occur. And I've got to say, guys, I'm actually really, really excited about CSGO in Australia. And I think a lot of the players, I actually talked to Mizzy about it as well, a lot of the players are beginning to come back to CSGO from Valorant at the moment, okay? About to come back. But anyways, guys, let's talk about the next thing, which is Mad Lions decided to bench Bobsky. So Bobsky has been benched. Also, as well, there's been another one, which is basically, let's turn that to sport, because HLTV can be a bit moncaress. So yeah, pretty much Asilian bench Bobsky. No one is unsure why Bobsky has been benched, and he's been the high-rated player for quite a while, so it's a bit weird. Also, as well, Flatroot did leave Team Secret based on internal issues, internal affairs. And I think Flatroot might be looking for a spot in one of these teams as well, and I won't be surprised if Flatroot is taking a look out for some of these teams, because I've been told by some of the Albanian supporters of Flatroot that his English is very, very good. He's still studying, and of course, English as second language is very, very good. He can participate in an international roster. And people were actually surprised if FaZe weren't going to pick him up, because they were hearing rumors before he left Team Secret that he could be going to FaZe. And, there's a lot of teams that Flatroot can go to, because Flatroot's a young player, very, very good entry fragger, and he can get, 20 to 30 on the board and can work his magic effectively, and he's very, very good at entry as well. Everything that you would need in a rifler. Now, with Bobsky, though, not sure why he was benched. And, well, the next story might give a bit of clarification to it as well. So, KJB's left North. So, KJB, earlier, Kirby, not Cajun B, sorry, I call him Kirby. Basically, Cajun B. I call him KJB, but it's meant to be Kirby. Interesting with Kirby, though, is that he was sick for a bit, and now he leaves North, okay? He's definitely the better player of North. He's been one of the main playmakers, but obviously that didn't come to fruition in North. And I think what's going to happen, I think North might pick up Bobsky, and it might be a bit of a Danish shuffle. Kirby could go to, he won't go to Australis, given like a lot of people have been saying he might go to Stras, he might not go to Stras. The main reason against going to Stras is that his antics that he did in a result of leaving Stras. He might go to Mad Lions instead, because Mad Lions do need a decent rifler. And also they do have a lot of young stars, there being Acor, Roy, and a few others on Assylian with in-game leadership. I forget the last player's name. But either way, they have a great lineup there. And they got Peacemaker as the coach, of course. Alternatively as well, Kirby could go to another team, maybe the Copenhagen Flames, for example, and let's just say Man Lions or another team pick up Flatterer instead and see how he works, because Flatterer has worked a few days before, given his time at Team Secret. But we'll see what happens there. So next up, we'll talk about the main, goings on of the scene at the moment. And one's going to be Twitter, okay? Which is going to be James Banks, okay? So Banks made a... So if you guys don't know, Redeye has left the esports scene, and it's what kind of started off. It was, behind the Me Too movement, or the cleaning up, as I call it, of the esports industry, of all the players that are abusing their positions, whether for sexual predatory kind of things, and other things like that, sexual predatory, industry abuse, just abuse in general, of people using their positions of power unethically, essentially. And a lot of it started off with more of the sexual harassment, sexual assault kind of stuff, and now it's gone to the industry, industry thing and cleaning it up. So this is the main thing with James Banks, is he accused Redeye of basically using his power and abusing it verbally and stuff like that. So basically what happened, this came up during a game, I think it's the DreamHack Open playoff game, because someone was like, "Oh, have you read what James Banks said about Redeye?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." I'm like, "Oh, whoa, what's going on here?" And I was reading through it while I was casting, and probably not the best idea to read it while you're casting, of course, but in the end it did deliver a good show. But yeah, so basically what happened is that Code Red and Paul Chainer, which is Redeye, of course. So basically what happened is that James Banks and Redeye don't see eye to eye, obviously. Okay, James Banks and Redeye have had a really, really bad relationship since Gfinity, which is a long time ago, where Banks was commentating with Semler at CSGO. And what happened was that James Banks has type 1 diabetes, and it kind of sucks for him to get insurance. That's the other thing. I'm a financial advisor. I know how hard it is to get insurance as a type 1 diabetes person, because I tried to get one for 2 of them, and they were declined on the spot. And just said, "Nah, you can't be covered." But anyways, so what happened is that James Banks was having a bit of a attack, a bit of a diabetes attack. He was a bit unhappy. Obviously, he met Redeye, and Redeye has, abused him a bit, and he'd driven him to suicide many years ago. And so what happened was that in 25th June, he made a point of getting rid of the bad actors of the scene, basically says everyone was speaking up about the Me Too movement and stuff like that. We call it the gaming Me Too movement, where they were just cleaning up the scene of people who are just absolutely disgusting and despicable, and abusing their positions of power for their own personal gain, which I believe is a disgusting kind of act. When you have that power, you have a responsibility to make sure you are growing a scene, not so you can get your dick sucked, okay? And I know that's probably going to get censored by YouTube, but seriously, like, some of the guys out there, and minority, of course, women, because it's usually guys on women, because I think it's 90% or something like that. And a lot of these people got to start realizing that they can't start, do this shit to people, okay? It's disgusting. So anyway, so basically what happened to Banks? Banks basically, ominously said, "We're going to start loading out some stuff." And Code Red, which is Redeye's agency, contacted him, because of course the guy behind Code Red is also on Redeye's side and trying to control the scene. So basically, Redeye, James Banks, Code Red is trying to hold some comments over James Banks, which is 18, about 10 years ago, and essentially, Code Red was still trying to hang it over him and trying to scare him. So basically what happened is there's a court case as well, court case about a family law abuse, which was set aside. I'm not sure why it was mentioned. It was apparently Redeye abusing, not abusing as physically abusing, punching, but he was found not guilty of it. Also, as well, what happened is that so he also had photos back from blah blah blah, and he's not the case. So what happened is basically Gfinity, he got picked with Henry G, blah blah blah, and so basically, he first saw me commentating grand final with Semler, so Semler is being featured and it's not being around. Despite what you look at that, me and came around, this is very bad comment. It only took place because my blood sugars went incredibly low, and he's a type 1 diabetic. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he had to get me a full sugar Coke and sweets to eat during the cast, and yeah, so pretty much, Semler was a very good caster, by the way. So point out a contract with Gfinity to be their content for all CSGO events and host all the StarCraft 2 events. But you didn't know James Banks hosted StarCraft 2, but that's what it's When Redeye came on board, I got a phone call with him where he told me I wasn't good enough for either of these roles and he would be moving me. I was certainly not happy with that. I don't think anyone would be, to be honest, like telling you that you're bad. I mentioned that my contract advice is unfair. I told him I must listen to what he says, otherwise he'll say I'll never work in this industry again. And this is what I'm talking about, the power of responsibility, is that you guys got to realize, like, you can't tell someone, oh yeah, if you don't listen to me, you'll never work here again. Like, that's just a kind of a veiled threat, and that's, kind of think about how you gotta be like, dude, like, you can't be like, oh, if you speak up, you're gonna get fired and never work again. That's kind of not cool, okay? Just like, like, be like, you gotta be like empathetic to the person. Like, yeah, I know that you're upset with this, but if you keep commentating, keep grinding, you will be put back to the role, okay? And yeah, so yeah, the mental complexity, yeah, exactly. See, that's not cool. Like, that's not cool at all. That's not how you do business, okay? And yeah, because I wouldn't do what he wanted. Like, if I roll it over and took it, yeah, seriously, you can't take this kind of abuse, guys, okay? But sometimes it's very, very hard, okay? Because when you don't take it, they'll just go, oh, he's too hard to work with, okay? That sort of thing. Makes me feel awful, I know, I've been there. I can tell you, Banks, I've been there, man. I've been there. After attending a G-Fin events, doing my roles reviews, I remember getting asked every time I saw Redeye. He refused to talk to me, didn't offer any support, kept me out of meetings. And this is the thing what abusers do. They keep everyone out of the loop. So slowly they sideline you, and then eventually you get kicked out of a certain thing. You can see that with a lot of things as well. If you guys looked at the Trekkie tweets about fragments, that's what they tend to do, okay? That's what they tend to do, okay? That they sideline people like that. And that's how some of these abuse stories seem to be told. I'm not saying that it's true with Trekkie and Fragments. I'm just saying that sort of behavior is how it goes along. Like how Trekkie describes it. They sideline people and they eventually get kicked out. Okay, so this is what, this is what people tend to do. Okay. And it got so bad because I was called by Redeye that I sweat profusely, making any alcohol thing I turned a different color, that I was mocked by Redeye and other talent while simply trying to do my job under stressful conditions. Dude, I've had that before as well. And like when you're like so nervous, and like don't wear white hot shirts, by the way, when you're super nervous, and that's probably why you probably wear patterned clothing, is that if you sweat, oof. But I think the other talent as well probably weren't probably weren't aware of what James is going through, and are trying to light him up and stuff like that, especially when you're sweating like that. The other talent I was far too scared to talk about. This is what the heart of nutrition was. I was feared to talk about any of it because of Redeye, how and he claimed he would end my career. Sescuse himself even realized after I talked to him why this was, and apologized publicly when I wanted to use my experience and depression to help others. Blah blah blah. Not proof of yeah. He probably has a doctor's certificate, okay, at this point. So basically, what happened as well is that Redeye apparently punched a person at Gfinity. That guy spoke up, and that guy talked about it in Twitter as well. You can watch the tweets on Twitter, and apparently, basically he's got a lot of receipts by a lot of people, and that, a lot of people don't think he's a good person, okay, pretty much it. And there's a lot of incidents here that, people feel like he's a disgusting man and people aren't going to work with him anymore and stuff like that. And yeah, so pretty much there's 2GD as well. And, basically a lot of people have outed Redeye at this point. You can read the entire tweet longer or Google Doc at James Banks' Twitter. I don't want to go through all of it. And there's a nice little sympathetic post to him by his girlfriend telling him to, go for it. And I reckon he's done a good thing by bringing these to light to help Redeye, because he actually put that in a sticky tweet later that he wanted to really help Redeye on this. And unfortunately, Redeye's decided to just get out of the scene. Hopefully it's just, basically just go out of the scene, go take a breather and stuff like that. Some people do that as well. Like, people when they're confronted with their actions just want to just get out and just, have a look at themselves and see what they can do later, okay? Like, some people will be like, oh, they're just, copping out because they get caught and they want to face the music. No, it's kind of the same time, so you got to, go out there and just reflect a bit, okay? Like, everyone's been on both sides of the coin, and you've got to reflect, what can I do to be a better person? There's multiple sides of ethics, there's obviously consequence ethics, and the other one's being the virtue ethics. How do I develop my character to be a better person? That kind of thing. And that's what, going out of the industry is. Get yourself out of the flame and just reflect on what happened. So the next one is going to be probably the most disgusting abuse I've seen in quite a while, is going to be Gaules, okay? So basically what happened is, during the MIBR v Chaos matchup where Chaos won 2v1, after that, the Brazilian fan base was not happy, and they basically called Chaos a bunch of cheaters. as a few people even naming Steel, being like Steel cheated in I Buy Power. They referred to that and basically called them all cheaters. They targeted a few players being Zeppa and Leaf. Mainly Leaf, because Leaf had the series of his life, and Leaf was basically, I think it was plus 21 or plus 31 at the end of the 3-match series, and MIBR lost 2-1, and MIBR made multiple accusations, even went through clips on his stream, on Gaules' stream, saying that Leaf cheated, and they always link 10 clips of where Leaf has apparently cheated. We went through all 10 on stream previously in the Chill Time with Jose, and we only determined that 2 of them had any sort of case, but there was explanations on why it occurred. Mainly the overpass clip, that's commonly linked. I don't believe he's cheated there. We need more information. That's what I said on my cast. I said on my stream, not cast. I said we need more information because it seems like Leaf may have seen Taco crossing over, because you see on the mini-map in the top left that Taco crosses over Monster, okay, canals. He goes to the canals. And if Leaf even sees a foot, you are spraying that angle. And you can explain why Leaf sprayed constantly at Monster, because he saw Taco crossing. And that's why maybe have aim locked him as well, because he saw Taco crossing. Like, if the smoke doesn't bloom, you can still see the feet from where Leaf is, okay? You can still see the feet from where Leaf is. It's like generally just like that much of a foot. And also, since Overpass has been updated, you can still see that foot on the opposite side of Monster, so you know the colors will shine out. And the other one was Mirage at top middle. And I'm going to say now, I think Leaf got some information before, and also the smoke that was put down at top middle was not a CT smoke, it was a T smoke. So Leaf aiming at the outer edges of top middle, not exactly out of the realms of imagination of a player could be there, given the fact there was a T smoke earlier. And I think Leaf may have seen a gun barrel, or imagined he saw a gun barrel and took a shot on a pre-fire, thinking a person was there. I did see like for a split second, like a little black object for a split second, and that's why I'm thinking he may have seen a gun barrel of the AK that was being held, and took a pre-fire shot, and then of course Leaf missed it and was attacked upon. Now, 8 of the other clips were nothings. Okay, they were literally nothings. I have no idea why anyone was thinking it's cheating. One of them was the overpass one where TRK threw a flashbang through the smoke, and you can see Leaf going like this to dodge it, like turning around like this, and then turning back to Heaven. It's like he saw a flashbang being thrown through the smoke. He's got to hold Heaven just in case the player tries to rush through and take down the player. So nothing's wrong there. There was another one on, I think it was, I'm trying to figure what it was on Dust 2, where Zeppa was holding long doors, and conveniently, basically, the players walking out at the same time, okay? That's the angle you hold for long doors, okay? He even adjusts, because the player wide peaks him, he even adjusts to the left side to take him down. That's the angle you hold long doors at, because if the player peaks slow at long doors, you need to be able to hold that angle to cut off the long door entrance and anyone trying to come through the other angle. That's what you got to do. And the last one was, I'm trying to figure out, it was on, I think it was also on, it was with Leaf, it was on Inferno, okay? And Leaf, basically they're accusing Leaf of hacking because he switched to Fur, who was walking through Arch. But the thing is that Leaf had, or basically the 2 players on the balcony, and Pit had just died, and Leaf checked Secret. Okay, Secret's a little cubby on the A-bomb side, that's why I call it Secret, because, you know, you can't see it. He checked Secret. He wasn't checking where Fur was. If you go to another video, that clearly explains that the person would have rendered up in his map. And of course, some people could claim that, oh, you know, advanced map hackery. It's like, no, you can't. The server sends Leaf that information. Leaf can't have any other third-party information being sent to him. Otherwise, the ESA auto cheat will likely detect it, because he's receiving information he shouldn't be receiving, and it's pretty easy to detect. It's like snap, bang, gone. You shouldn't be detecting it. So, essentially, what I think was happening is that Leaf and Zeppa took out 2 players, took out the Pit player, and they took out the player on the balcony. They were looking for the second player, the Arch player. They were looking for the Arch player, because the Arch player would have known that Leaf was coming in, given the fact that Leaf had threw a grenade, and that Leaf had stepped in apps. So he was looking for simply the Arch defender. He looked towards Secret, and then he looked towards Library. Not cheating, in my opinion. Not cheating. I think it's just people just being poor sports. And I've got to say, like, you know, MIBR did beat Triumph afterwards as well. And also, they basically literally bullied and sent death threats and a lot of very, very harsh language directed at Leaf, that Leaf had to protect his own account. And I think Zeppa did as well. Because basically, every time that Leaf or Zeppa posted, it was like literally 100 of Brazilian fans telling him that he's a hacker, telling him, what do you say about this? Or telling him that, come to Brazil, which is a meme for beating him up. And that he would be attacked in Brazil and, threats against his family and his family members and stuff like that. And then after that series, Leaf played extremely badly against the next matchup. And basically some fans basically said, oh, that means he was cheating. It's like, dude, like when you get sent like 10,000 death threats and threats against your family and basically seemingly everyone hates you and thinks you cheat. I think, CSGO is kind of a mental game with the real-time strategy. And he probably wasn't, in the right frame of mind, because anytime he would do anything that would be spectacular, it would be seen that he's cheating and people would just jump on him. So yeah, it basically came from an upset win, and basically, as you see here with this article, that Zeppa and Leaf were basically accused of cheating, and they had this top CSGO expert, which I have no idea who he is, considering I cast a lot of games, and I see a lot of these VAC things a lot, but there's like always the innocent explanation. And I think some of these guys who are apparently cheat specialists, they are literally just there. They, like, I'm gonna say now, like, they don't have any qualifications behind it, and I feel like they're just there to confirm beliefs of other people that cheating such rampant in the scene. Okay, I think, like, they're trying to take advantage of the people who don't know CS:GO very well and essentially just cheerleaders for their respective teams. Okay, that's what I think has happened here. So basically, there's a lot of hate, and so Chaos lost to the Pug Gods, which had very good players in it, and people were accusing them, saying, but by the way, that Chaos cheated, and they posted a scoreboard of that match with no text to go with it on his tweet, and seriously, like, a fraud even told Gaules to show more respect, given that he's got such a large fan base, and he was pretty pissed off. Then Device came in as well, and he was pretty unhappy, as you can see there. And yeah. So also what happened as well, so basically after that is that Gaules essentially posted a post that people were xenophobic and racist towards him as a kind of a defense from this. To be fair, man, Gaules, you can't do this sort of shit to people. Like, you can't be like, literally trying to, like, you got to realize that your actions have consequences, okay? Your actions have consequences, and people harass and attack people. And you can't use the veil of, we've been racist, or, we've been racist or xenophobic, and people mention 7-1 Brazil all the time. You can't be like, oh, but they did this, so they deserve it. No, you can't play revenge. Like, you can't use it as a shield and be like, oh, it's revenge for this. Just did it because of that. Have you guys ever played Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Redemption 2 when Arthur says revenge is the fool's game? You're playing a fool's game, okay? It's not acceptable. You don't go eye for an eye. It leaves everyone blind, okay? So basically, they post about that. And, basically, Gaules is a big personality in the Brazilian scene. As they respect, because I think a lot of people respect him because he's a former pro player, and they respect his insight. I'm not terribly sure why, because that's, I'm not really part of the Brazilian scene, and I'm just basically an English caster, so I'm not sure, why that's the case. Also, basically, as well, he followed up with this. Basically, I'm not sure why it's calling Device xenophobic and racist, because I think Device just had enough of basically the piling on Leaf, and I think that still, even now, Chaos have their Twitter spammed with people accusing them of cheating, basically, pretty much, and that they're harboring cheaters, and it's very, very disappointing for people to allege cheating without any actual proof, okay? Without any actual substantial proof, and also not to mention playing judge, jury, and executioner before ESA even has a chance to look at it, okay? Like, ESA do act on it. I'm going to say I was part of a witch hunt for, I think trying to think who they were. I think it was like Mad Villainary. I'm not sure what they called in the end. I think they got recruited by a team, then they were subsequently banned by ESA. But, there was a witch hunt on them as well by Dennis, because Dennis showed a few clips, but I'm going to say but I'm not going to say but, and, like, they had a few sus clips. They had a few sus clips in my game as well. Like, that I was casting, mainly, I think it's their Iranian superstar whore, because he was a bit, strange. Like the wall bang on Rusty in the game, literally on the first one, was really, really strange because he didn't hear Rusty. And he was taken down, so I'm just putting some refreshments in. But anyways, the main thing is I've learned out is that don't bleed Twitch up. Just cast to your best ability. Don't comment about, any cheating or anything like that. Just keep it going. Okay, you're just there to cast a game. You're not there to be judged or an executioner, and I've learned a lot from that. And I think Gaules can learn a lot from that as well. So that's going to be it for Chill Time with Jose today. And I'm going to put this on YouTube shortly. So if you guys want to follow my Twitch channel, it's twitch.tv, the Jose Gaming, and put a free instead of the E in there. And yeah, subscribe if you enjoy this content, share it. If you enjoy it as well, you can subscribe below. And hope you guys have a wonderful day. So see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.